You know that feeling you're working hard, you're clocking in the hours, but somehow you're just not really getting ahead financially? Well, you are definitely not alone. But what if I told you there's a clear roadmap, a real plan for employees like us to build sustainable wealth, and you don't even have to quit your job to do it? In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how.
Okay, but first, let's just tackle the elephant in the room, right? You've probably heard it 1,000 times. Oh, if you want to get rich, you can't be an employee, you've got to be an entrepreneur. But is that really true? Is that the only way to do it? Let's dig in and find out.
To really get to the bottom of that question, we have to start by redefining what rich even means. Seriously, it's not about some crazy, intimidating number in your bank account. It's about something way more meaningful and, honestly, a whole lot more achievable.
So the real goal here isn't a number. It's a feeling, a state of being we call financial freedom. Just imagine this. The money that your assets make for you, things like dividends from stocks or maybe rental income, that money is enough to cover all your living expenses. You get to work because you want to, not because you have to. Now that is the true definition of wealth we're shooting for.
All right, so are you ready to build that roadmap to your own financial freedom? Here's the game plan, our 4 key steps to get you there. First, we'll cover the core wealth formula. Then, we'll dive into how to master your monthly cash flow. After that, it's all about building your financial fortress. And finally, we'll get to the exciting part, unleashing the power of investing. So, what's the actual secret to building wealth while you're an employee? Honestly, it is so much simpler than you think. It really just boils down to 2 incredibly powerful levers that, and this is the best part, you have complete control over, starting right now. Yep, that's literally it. Number 1, increase your earning power. Number 2, increase your saving ratio. That means earning more and saving a bigger chunk of what you earn. These are the 2 fundamental pillars of building wealth for anyone, not just employees. Everything else we're going to talk about today is really just about helping you get amazing at these 2 simple but life-changing things.
Okay, let's bring this down to earth. How do we actually apply this formula to our monthly paycheck? This is the critical step, right? This is where you learn to transform your salary from just money that pays the bills into the actual fuel for your wealth building engine.
Okay, let's look at a real-world case study here. So there's a social media specialist, right? Makes a decent salary, but they realized they could do more. So they started a little side hustle on the weekends, managing social media for a few local businesses. Get this, in just a few months, they tripled their total income. And because of that, they were able to save a massive 50% of everything they earned. This isn't some fantasy. It's just a really smart strategy to put your wealth building journey on the fast track.
So here is what an ideal budget allocation looks like, kind of like a blueprint. Your big goal should be to save or invest at least 30% of your income. Super important. Then try to keep your debt payments below 20%. And check this part out. This is crucial. You have to reward yourself. Set aside 5 to 10% for stuff that just makes you happy. Remember, building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint, and if you don't enjoy the journey, you're gonna burn out. Now, I know what you might be thinking. 30%? That sounds like a lot. And yeah, it can be. But the real power here isn't the number itself. It's the consistency. When you make saving that chunk a non-negotiable habit every single month, something pretty amazing starts to happen. And here it is. This is where the magic happens. By consistently putting away 30% of your income, you'll have saved up the equivalent of 3.5 months of your salary in just 1 year. Think about that. That's a serious chunk of capital you can now put to work for you. That right there is the foundation of your financial freedom. All right, let's talk debt, because managing this is just as important as saving. As you can see on this chart, keeping your debt payments under 20% of your income, that's the sweet spot. That's where you're healthy and ready to grow. Once you creep up past 30, 35%, you're in the caution zone. And if you're spending more than half of your income just on debt, well, that's the danger zone. It becomes almost impossible to build wealth because all your money is just going backwards to service old decisions instead of forward to build your future. Okay, let's move on to building your financial fortress. Look, before we can even think about getting rich, we have to build a system that prevents us from becoming poor. It sounds kind of basic, but a strong defense is always, always more important than a risky offense. I absolutely love this quote. It's better to stay not poor than to get rich quick and then go broke. We've all heard those stories, right? People who make a ton of money super fast only to lose every single penny. That is exactly why building a strong financial defense is so critical. It's not about being scared to take risks. It's about being smart and protecting what you've already worked so hard for. So, how do we actually build this financial fortress? It really comes down to two key components. First, you need an emergency fund. For a single person, that's about 3 to 4 months of your living expenses. If you have a family, you'll want more. This is your safety net. Second, and listen, this part is absolutely non-negotiable, is health insurance. A single unexpected medical bill can wipe out years of hard-earned savings in the blink of an eye. You have to have that protection. This brings up a dilemma a lot of people face, right? I've got a limited budget. Should I buy insurance or should I start investing? And the answer couldn't be clearer. Protection always comes first. Think of it this way. Investing is for growing new assets. Insurance is for protecting the assets and the income you already have. You've got to secure your foundation before you can build on top of it. All right, now for the really fun part. Once your financial fortress is built and you've got a handle on your cash flow, it's time to go on the offensive. This is where we learn how to make our money start working for us, so we can start generating that passive income and get that much closer to our big goal, financial freedom. I want you to think about this in a new way. Every dollar you save isn't just a dollar. It's like a token for investing. It's like you're at an arcade. The more tokens you collect from your savings, the more games you can play in the investment world, and the more chances you have to win. It's a simple little mindset shift, but it can turn saving from a total chore into this exciting game of stacking up capital for your future. So for an employee, a smart and steady investment strategy is what wins the race. Step 1. Just start with what you have and put it in lower risk instruments. Think things like money market funds, for example. Step 2. As your knowledge and your capital grows, then you can slowly start to increase your risk profile. And step 3, and this is everything, consistency is king. You have to keep investing regularly, like clockwork, every single month. And at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. All of it. The disciplined budgeting, maybe those late nights on a side hustle, the consistent investing. It is all leading to this one ultimate goal: building a portfolio of assets that generates passive income. That's the engine that gives you the freedom to finally live life completely on your own terms. So, why do we even go through all this trouble? What's the point? It's simple. Financial freedom gives you options. It means a life with so much less stress and pressure. It means having the power to choose a career you love, not just one you need to pay the bills. And most importantly, it gives you back your time. The one thing, the only asset we can never, ever get more of. All right, we've laid out the roadmap for you. Now, the rest is up to you. It's about taking that very first step. For me, years ago, that first step was just setting up a tiny automatic transfer into a savings account that happened the day after I got paid. It was so small, but it was a start, and it made all the difference. So, the big question is, what's your first step going to be?